What's up, people? It's your boy Jim, Soul Building Repairs. Now changed over to, well, we'll just keep it that for this. Either ways, so we got a 2012 Chevy Silverado that had some electrical issues here, and nobody knew what was going on. Kind of had an idea, just didn't know where to search. Basically a ground issue. The truck ran fine other than the exhaust leak, which I also fixed, but with the plow, and this is where I noticed it, okay, is with the plow, it wouldn't lift the plow for nothing. I couldn't, 1 year it worked, next year nothing. Put it down, could never pick it back up. So that was all last year, and I just borrowed somebody else's. Either ways, so it's a ground issue. So I couldn't have anything. Well, number one, when you try to lift it, the whole dash would black out. All right, everything would go black. The radio would go black. Fucking the gauges would just go crazy and then drop to zero. You know, and then after the malfunction stopped, truck would stay running the whole time. The windows, after that, I couldn't roll the windows up at the same time, or everything would go out, just like as if I was trying to lift the plow. I swapped out the alternators, got the high output alternator, that didn't do it. So at this point I know it's electrical, but I'm not sure if it's the plow or the truck. And then, you know, once I put the plow down, and then it's still doing it with the windows, roll the windows up together at the same time. As soon as we get to the top, everything would black out. Gauges would go blank, radio would turn off, flicker, lights would go out, everything. So you know, I started going over all the grounds and all the electrical shit to the plow, making sure all that was good. I started tearing pillars off, because on this model there's the ground point right under the pillar here, which connects your ground from the from the engine firewall into here, so that inside and all your gauges and dash and all that has a spot for the grounds to meet and connect to, right? Goes from the battery to the engine, from the engine to the firewall, from the firewall to inside the truck, so on and so forth till it goes all the way back, right? And then obviously the grounds split and go to every different item that's in here, airbags, all that. So I literally pulled all this apart. For the life of me, I could not figure it out, right? And then I realized, well, first I realized that I couldn't lift any other plow either, and that's when I realized it was definitely the truck that was the issue, which, you know, again, started going into everything: fuse panels, fuse block, all the grounds and power cables going from the battery out to everything. Checking the three-port control box, and literally going through all this wiring to come up with empty for the most part. Fixed a few things while in the process of looking everything over, changed out all the the ground cables and power cables, put all new stuff in, new solenoid, everything. I've searched high and low, all the ground points under the truck that are connected to the frame underneath, nothing. Right here, there's a ground strap. Oh, I forgot to put this back on last night. There's a ground strap that goes from here to the back of the engine block, right? I checked over that. I cleaned all the fittings around it, everything. Did it on the back side, on the engine side. But what I didn't go over or didn't check was the stability of this cable. And you know, they're just frayed wires and you know, they're trash. When I started to pull on it, it started to tear apart. Until eventually I pulled a little harder and it completely ripped in pieces. And right there I was like, that's gotta be it. So I ran a new ground wire from here. This was much easier to there than trying to get the wrench back in there. I'm not working in my shop anymore, so you know, it's raining and it's cold outside, so quick fix. Anyways, cleaned up all this with a wire brush, with a wire brush with a drill. Put some new fittings on this wire here, and before I even put this wire on, I realized when I checked my multimeter or my scan tool that when I would roll up all the windows and had the air on and blah headlights, everything, that my battery voltage when I would start to roll the windows up would drop down to 3.5 volts, which is no good. That's right, the truck wouldn't even start with that kind of voltage. When just the accessories were all on without rolling the windows up, it would drop down to 12.4 volts. Still very low for a truck that's running and idling. Just with the truck running and nothing on, it was sitting at 13.3 volts. And that's when it dawned on me that we have a bad ground connection still somewhere. And that's what made me start searching for the bad ground. And since I had already went over everything else but that ground strap, as far as checking it, I cleaned the terminal, yes, but I didn't check how bad, and I'll show you.
Camera activated.
How bad this ground strap was, because it looked fine, obviously, other than your old worn out, you know, look to it, but very minimal effort here. It's like dust. Very minimal effort. You can see it just crumbling to the floor. So yeah, various little toys here. Just got my son his first car. Either ways, ground strap. Yeah, man, I mean, I searched high and low. I could not find an answer for this. Also, careful with your wires, because if they're hanging or the zip tie breaks and starts rubbing against your belt, that's not going to be good either. So, like I said, I went through all this shit. Everything. I pulled the lights apart to see if there's just a bad connection there. I was having light flickering issues on that side at one point. I mean, everything. I wire loomed it. Like, this was really, I mean, really getting under my skin because everything seemed okay. New alternator. So, just to wrap this all up, you're having an issue where your vehicle can't lift your plow and the screen's blacking out. I would suggest you change that ground strap immediately and see if that doesn't. So, and then once I did connect just that wire to here, the voltage shot up to 14.3 volts just with the one ground wire, and then I ran, for extra precaution, another ground wire from there to the battery, right? Kind of just tie it in, and jumped up to 14.7, 14.5, something like that. So, ground strap. Either ways, thank you for watching. Hopefully this helps somebody, because I wish I would have seen a video like this last year. Because just because it looks okay doesn't mean it is okay, right? All the time. So you kind of got to go over your shit, you know, and do your due diligence. Please like and subscribe. Trying to build this up. Hopefully it becomes something. I'll try to get to any questions that you guys have. Sometimes I respond a little late. You know, just trying to stay busy, and yeah. Hopefully this helps somebody before the snow really starts to hit this year, if we get any. We're not seeing any really in PA. Small flurry down where I'm at. So either ways, please like, subscribe, leave a comment, and I'll try to respond back. Till next time, peace.